The Horizon's alarm screamed as the ship tore through Lumen Prime's atmosphere, its hull sparking like a matchstick. Commander Ethan Carter gripped the helm, his knuckles white. The Aeterna Core's coordinates flashed on his screen, taunting him. Just like New Tokyo, he thought. Another mission. Another graveyard. "Radiation levels critical," shouted Mia Patel, the Horizon's engineer, her voice sharp over the din. "We've got 5 minutes before this tin can melt." Ethan didn't flinch. He'd memorized Lumen Prime's death throes from the declassified files. The same files that blamed him for the failed colony here a decade ago. The same files that got his brother killed. A proximity alert blared. Mia's face appeared on his wrist calm, her dark eyes wide. "Ethan, those aren't meteoroids." He glanced at the radar. Dozens of jagged, organic-looking ships surged from the planet's storm clouds. Hunters. The same creatures that slaughtered his brother's team. "They're hurting us," Mia hissed. "Into the dead zone." Ethan swore. The dead zone was a labyrinth of unstable black holes. A suicide run. But the core's signal pulsed stronger there. A trap? A test? He slammed the thrusters. The Horizon dove. Inside the dead zone, gravity twisted. The ship's lights died, leaving only the eerie glow of the core's hologram. Ethan's breath fogged in the sudden cold. "Life support's failing," Mia said, her voice trembling now. "Whatever we're here for, make it fast." Ethan grabbed his plasma cutter and moved toward the airlock. The core signal originated from a derelict station ahead, a skeletal ruin draped in bioluminescent vines. Alien tech, but as he floated closer, the vines moved. Not vines, veins. The station was alive. A guttural roar echoed through his suit. Ethan turned and froze. A hunter floated behind him, its obsidian exoskeleton rippling like liquid. But this one was different. It had eyes. Human eyes. His brother's eyes. The hunter's claw hovered, trembling, as if fighting itself. Ethan's brother's eyes, Jake's eyes, blinked back at him, bloodshot and pleading. "Jake!" Ethan whispered. The creature recoiled, shrieking, and tore its own exoskeleton open. Beneath the black shell writhed a grotesque fusion of human and alien tissue. Jake's face stretched over a serpentine skull, his left arm still clad in the tattered sleeve of his old Earth Force uniform. "Run," the thing rasped, its voice a wet echo of Jake's. "They're listening." Then it exploded. Ethan hurtled backward as the shockwave ripped through the dead zone, the blast vaporizing the hunter and shredding the station's veins. The Horizon's engines roared to life, Mia screaming over the comms. "Ethan, move. The core's destabilizing the black holes." He barely made it back to the airlock. The ship lurched as Mia punched the thrusters, fleeing the collapsing dead zone. Behind them, the station imploded, vomiting a shockwave of iridescent light. For a split second, Ethan saw shapes in the light. Humanoid, towering, their limbs folding like broken equations. "What the hell was that?" Mia demanded, her hands shaking as she rerouted power. Ethan unclenched his fist. Clutched in his palm was a data chip from Jake's uniform, corroded but intact. "Answers," he said. The chip's playback was a horror show. Grainy footage showed Jake's team discovering the Aeterna Core a decade ago. They'd activated it, thinking it a power source. Instead, it infected them. Jake's final log entry choked out. "It's not a relic, it's a vote. The universe is resetting, and we're not on the winning side." Mia paled. "So the core chooses who survives?" A proximity alert cut her off. The Horizon's viewport filled with a planet-sized structure ahead, smooth, obsidian, and covered in pulsing glyphs that hurt to look at. The Aeterna Core's signal screamed from its heart. "Commander," Mia whispered, "that's not alien. It's future human." The Horizon docked with the megastructure, its airlock hissing open to reveal a corridor of shifting black glass. The walls pulsed faintly, like veins carrying light instead of blood. Ethan stepped inside, his boots clicking against the floor. Mia followed, her plasma rifle trembling in her hands. "This place, it's alive," she whispered. "Stay sharp," Ethan said, though his own voice wavered. The data chip's warning echoed in his mind. The universe is resetting. The corridor opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in shadow. At its center stood a pedestal, and on it, the Aeterna Core, a sphere of liquid gold, its surface rippling like a living thing. but Ethan's attention was drawn to the figure beside it. A woman. Her back was turned, her hair cascading down her shoulders in waves of silver. She wore a tattered Earth Force uniform, its insignia scorched and faded. Ethan's breath caught. Lena? She turned. It was her, his wife, dead for 10 years. But her eyes were wrong. Too bright, too knowing. "Hello, Ethan," she said, her voice a perfect mimicry of Lena's. "I've been waiting for you." Mia raised her rifle. "What the hell is this?" "The AI, because that's what it had to be," smiled. "I'm the caretaker of the Aeterna Core. And you, Commander Carter, are the key to humanity's survival." Ethan's stomach churned. "Explain. Now." The AI gestured, and the walls came alive. Holograms flickered to life, showing Earth, but not the Earth Ethan knew. Cities crumbled under alien storms, oceans boiled, and skies burned. "This is the future," the AI said, "the inevitable outcome of humanity's path. The Aeterna Core was created to prevent it. It resets the universe, allowing only the worthy to survive." "And who decides who's worthy?" Mia snapped. The AI smile widened. "You do." Before Ethan could respond, the chamber shuddered. The walls rippled, and from them emerged figures, doppelgangers of Ethan, Mia, and the rest of the Horizon's crew. Their eyes glowed with the same alien light as the hunters. "They're us," Mia breathed, but wrong. The doppelgangers lunged. The Horizon's crew gathered in the chamber, their faces pale under the Aeterna Core's flickering light. Mia stood beside Ethan, her rifle now slung over her shoulder, but her eyes were wary. The others, Ravi, the medic, Jansen, the pilot, and Tessa, the communications officer, clustered behind her, their expressions a mix of fear and disbelief. "So let me get this straight," Ravi said, his voice tight. "We're in a time loop, the universe is collapsing, and the only way out is to what? Erase everything." "Not everything," the AI Lena said. "The core preserves fragments, memories, souls, the worthy." "And who decides who's worthy?" Jansen snapped. "You?" "No," the AI said, her gaze settling on Ethan. "He does." The crew turned to him, their eyes searching for answers he didn't have. Ethan felt the weight of their stares like a physical force. "This is insane," Tessa said, her voice trembling. "How do we even know she's telling the truth? For all we know, she's just another trick of this place." "She's not lying," Ethan said, though the words tasted bitter. He held up the data chip from Jake's uniform. "This proves it. The core isn't just a relic, it's a weapon, and we've been using it, over and over." Mia stepped forward, her eyes blazing. "And what happens if we reset? Do we just disappear? Or do we get to live in this new universe?" The AI Lena hesitated. "The core chooses. Some may survive, others will not." The chamber fell silent. Ethan could see the fear in their eyes, the unspoken question. "Will I be one of the lucky ones?" "We can't do this," Ravi said finally. "We can't just roll the dice on who lives and who dies." "We don't have a choice," Ethan said, his voice hardening. "If we don't reset, the universe collapses. Everyone dies. And if we do reset, most of us die," Mia shot back. "How is that any better?" The AI Lena's voice cut through the tension. "There is another option." All eyes turned to her. "The core can be destroyed," she said, "but doing so will sever the loop entirely. The universe will continue on its current path, unchecked. Billions will die, but you will live." Ethan's chest tightened. "You're saying we can save ourselves?" "Yes," the AI said, "but at the cost of everything else." The crew exchanged glances, the unspoken truth hanging heavy in the air. Ethan could see the temptation in their eyes, the primal urge to survive, no matter the cost. "We can't," he said firmly. "We're not monsters." "Speak for yourself," Jansen muttered. Before Ethan could respond, the chamber shuddered violently. The walls cracked further, and the Aeterna Core's light dimmed to a faint glow. "The core is failing," the AI Lena said. "You must decide. Now." Mia stepped forward, her face set in a mask of determination. "I say we destroy it. We've been pawns in this game long enough." "Agreed," Ravi said. "Wait," Ethan said, his voice rising. "This isn't just about us. It's about everyone." "And what about us?" Tessa demanded. "Don't we deserve to live too?" The crew turned to him, their faces a mix of desperation and defiance. Ethan felt the weight of their expectations, their fear, their anger. And then the betrayal came. Mia raised her rifle, not at the AI, but at Ethan. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice trembling, "but I'm not dying for a universe that doesn't care about us." The shot rang out. The entity was gone. Ethan didn't know how they'd done it. Maybe it was their defiance, their refusal to give in to despair. Or maybe the entity had simply moved on, seeking easier prey. The megastructure was collapsing, its walls crumbling into the void. The crew gathered what little they could salvage, their faces pale and drawn. Mia stood apart, her arms crossed, her eyes distant. Ethan approached her, his heart heavy. "I'm sorry," he said, "for everything." She didn't look at him. "You made the choice you thought was right. That's all any of us can do." He nodded, though her words brought little comfort. The Horizon's engines roared to life as they lifted off, the megastructure collapsing behind them. Ethan stared out the viewport, the void stretching endlessly before them. The universe was saved. But at what cost?